Hello, hello, and thank you for joining me today. If we know each other, great to see you. If we don't, look forward to meeting you. Um, this is a brand new thing for me. I very quickly want to check one of my microphone settings. That thing's in the way, so I need to quickly move that. There we go. That's more like it. So my microphone's in the right setting now. So here I am. Um, Live on a Monday. This is going to be my new thing every Monday, 4 p.m. You and I will meet here and hang out. So if we haven't met, my name is Bob Gentle. I am the host of the Personal Brand Business Show podcast. Every week, I meet incredible people who share what makes their business work. It is the best fun for me, the best thing I've ever done in my business. Some of the guests have included people like Mark Schaefer, Jeff Walker, Justin Brown, Mike Michalowicz, Dory Clark. Some of the big names, some of the more relatable names, probably people like you if you're watching. So obviously the podcast isn't what I do for money. It's great fun. I meet lots of people. But my business is essentially, I help business leaders around the world to discover their goals online and then build a business they love. Now, that's a very easy thing to say, but what does it actually mean? Essentially, I'm part strategic advisor, part coach, and part technical support. Help them discover whatever it is they want to do, their mission, and then I help them with the marketing, the monetization, and the mindset to help them get there. So that's essentially what I do. If that resonates with you, then I'm very happy to help you. I'm going to be here for the next little while. If there's any questions come up, ask them in the chat. As I said, this is brand new. When I say chat, the comments, wherever you are. Currently, this is live streaming on Facebook in several places, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So if you are watching live, let me know where you are, because I'm not entirely sure if my platform will give me the chat through here or not. So you can help me test it. Now, what is this live stream for? Why am I doing this? Essentially, for me, it's about leadership. I am working with a lot of people, helping them build their visibility. And for a lot of people, that's quite intimidating. It's scary. For me, lots of things to do with it are quite intimidating and scary as well. Many of the things I used to find scary, I don't really anymore. Things like the podcast, things like video content. If I'm honest, live streaming is still a little bit intimidating, but not as intimidating as it used to be. But for me, I'm finding that I'm telling clients quite often, okay, you're telling me you don't have time for podcasts. You're telling me you don't have time for YouTube. Live streaming takes no longer than planning a little bit of an outline and clicking the go live button. Now, that's very easy for Bob to say, but Bob hasn't been doing it. On the one hand, I didn't really feel I needed to do it because I've got lots of other things going on. But if it's that easy, why am I not doing it? So now there's a very good reason to do it. If I am willing to do it, then hopefully many of my clients who have been telling to do it will find it much, much easier. It's far easier to see somebody do it and think, well, yeah, I can do that, than it is to read books about it, watch YouTube videos about it. It's actually very simple, and I want to show how simple it can be. For me, appearing on video in content is a powerful thing, and our brain interprets that in the same way that it interprets experts on a television screen. If you remember if you're my generation, when we were kids, if you saw someone on the TV, they must be an expert. They must know what they're talking about. Well, we don't really watch TV quite so much anymore. At least I don't. But still, if I see somebody on screen confidently talking about what they know about, I assume they must be an expert. It's an unconscious process. So for my clients, I want them to leverage this because it's important. Additionally, most opportunity in life comes through the relationships that we build. And being visible through content like video and in particular live streaming, you can build relationships at scale. Now, I didn't invent that phrase. Somebody else told me it, but it's always stuck with me. With video, you can build relationships at scale. Um, I don't know if you have ever met anyone vaguely famous. I have quite often. And it's a very peculiar experience because you know them really, really well, and they have no idea who you are. Um, and that parasocial relationship creates a magnetic effect in the direction of the person who has gone to the effort of being known to you. If I were to ask you about who you would hire first, somebody you know and vaguely like, or somebody you completely don't know and have no idea whether you can trust them or not, you will always pick the person you know. And video content allows you to achieve that. And live streaming allows you to achieve that more easily than anything else, I think. I think of all the formats that you can do video, live streaming is just so simple. You don't have scripting to worry about quite so much. If I tried to do this with a script, frankly, it would be a car crash. I have an outline, the things that I'm going to talk about, but essentially the whole thing is improvised around an outline. And once you've hit the go live button, this is probably the easiest way to go. There's zero editing to worry about. And for most people, the editing is what holds them back from video content. With a live stream, you can edit it, but you don't have to. And these are the reasons why I encourage clients to get involved in live streaming. There's another really important aspect to live streaming for me, and that is that so many people think that when they create content, they have to come across as fully professional. I'm not a TV presenter. It makes zero sense that I come across as a super polished TV presenter. It makes no sense. But most people, when they think about the things that put them off doing video content, it's not being a professional TV presenter that puts them off. And that's a complete waste of time. Doing things in public like this, learning in public, creating in public is a very powerful way to get people on side. It allows you to set your ego aside and say, I'm going to get good at something with you. I'm going to learn with you. We're going to create together, create in public. It's very authentic, and it gets around all the problems of you not necessarily being very good at something. Here's the thing. It doesn't really matter who you are. 1/3 of people will not like you. 1/3 of people will not care about you. But 1/3 of people will really rally around and support you. And most people never climb out from underneath their rock to allow the 1/3 of people that would like to support them to be there. And the more known you become, those ratios of thirds remain the same. So it's really important to show up, and to show up with a bit of humility and not feel you have to be amazing at everything you touch. Like I said, it doesn't make sense for you or I to come across as a professional TV presenter. Just show up and give people the opportunity to learn from you and share what you do. So, what I would like from you, given that we're going to be co-creating this live stream every single Monday, is tell me what would make it great for you. What would you like me to share with you? What would you like me to teach you? Is there anything that you think I might be good at and you'd like me to tell you how you could be better at it? Just let me know in the comments of this post, wherever you find it. That would really help me a lot. So this is my live stream. And essentially, I'm going to use it a little bit like a video newsletter. So in this newsletter segment of the live stream, I'm going to tell you what's going on in my world. So the Amplify Personal Brand Business Dojo Facebook group, we are at 340 members. I would love for you to join. The Facebook community is the place where I share all my stuff first. So if you want to make sure you don't miss podcast episodes, that's where I will share them first. If you want to have your say on who should be on the podcast, pile in. If you have questions that you'd like me to go deep on in YouTube videos, that's the place where I would love to ask you. But it's also the place where you'll find lots of my podcast guests. Many of the big names that come on the podcast and the small names are members of that community. So if you have questions that you would like help on, if you'd like help on your digital marketing, your content marketing, your productivity, lots of different aspects, anything that's holding you back in your mindset, we have some of the world's best coaches in there. These are places where you can ask your questions about any aspect of your business, everything to do with your marketing, everything to do with your monetization, everything to do with mindset. So I would love to see you in the Facebook community. Last week, for my own members, and I widened this out to pretty much anyone that would like to come, we had a masterclass with Valerie Morris. And Valerie was teaching about self-published book marketing. Now, the reason I pulled this together was I have a lot of clients at the moment who are towards the end of writing a book. It's completely coincidental. I don't exclusively work with authors, but I have about 7 clients at the moment who are at different stages of writing a book. So I thought having Valerie in to share her process around marketing books that specifically that have been self-published would be really useful. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, comment, let me know, and I'll share a link to the YouTube video of that. At the moment, I am also promoting my membership experience, and that's really designed to be a low-cost, high-impact route to helping you build your personal brand business. It's really designed to have everything you need to start, scale, or just fix your expert business. But what do I mean by an expert business? Well, I guess what I mean is you're amazing at something, I imagine, if you're in business. But the problem is not many people necessarily know that. So my clients want to fix that. They want to be way better known. So this is stage 1 of what we're talking about in that membership group is how can we actually make that happen? How can we make you extremely high profile, go from fairly well known in your local community, perhaps to a global market leader in your space, a true thought leader. But as somebody once said to me, there is no point being famous if you can't send someone a bill. So we're looking at, okay, once you've built this profile, how do you monetize that? How do you turn being well known into money? Because you would be astonished at how many really well known people aren't making any money. And if that's you, hit me up. I've got some ways. But that's what we're also looking at. And then for those people who have a great product or have built a big audience and maybe need to go back and revisit the products, there's some processes around that. So essentially, that's what we're doing in the Amplify groups. And if you would like to participate in that, I would love to have you on board. If you visit the website, I believe we have a deal on right now where you can join for £1 for your first month, which is crazy. Today, it's Monday. So today is podcast day. So today on the podcast, we have Amanda Webb. And Amanda was talking about finding the ROI through social media, which a lot of people worry about. They think, how can I demonstrate the return on investment for social media when it's not directly tied to sales? And Amanda has put a lot of time and effort into becoming really well known. She does a weekly live stream, very inspiring for me, if I'm honest. But she puts a lot of time and effort into communicating how you can communicate ROI on social media. So if you're a social media manager or if you're a business owner that wants to understand how to play the long game on social media and win, it's a great interview for you. Now, today, I also want to celebrate a few clients. As I mentioned before, I have a few clients that are at the tail end of writing a book, and I have a few that have actually finished. And I want to take my hat off to Rosie Elliott, who is writing a book about confidence, essentially. Rosie teaches people to use color and style to help build their confidence. it's all about that first impression and the confidence that goes with that. But Rosie also works a lot with imposter syndrome. So that book, hopefully, will be out quite soon. Brett Dawson writes about personal change through moments of crisis. His book is also finished, manuscript locked in. It's just going through some final stuff before it's published. And finally, Ryan Franklin has written over 70,000 pages of genius about the leadership business. I don't have that book title for you, but that's also finished and hopefully will be out in the next few months. So the last thing I want to show you is the personal brand business roadmap. For me, this is at the heart of my business. This is essentially what I work through with clients. And I would invite you to visit my website and go get your copy of this. Accompanying this diagram, there is a 30-page PDF that will explain every single point on here. But this diagram, this roadmap, is essentially the journey that my clients go on with me. And it's helping them build their personal brand foundations, helping them build their authority, helping them build their visibility, helping them productize effectively. And that's important because a lot of people think they have a product, but as you build your audience, your opportunities grow. So it's important to go back and revisit your productization. And then I help them with sales and scale. And we have process for every stage on this journey. So if you are thinking that you want to lean into this, you don't have to become a big money client for me. I'm very happy to see you in the Amplify groups, or simply follow me on YouTube or listen to the podcast. So that brings me to the end today. Again, I would love to help you with anything to do with your mission, your marketing, your monetization, or your mindset. My name is Bob Gentle, and I will see you next Monday.